Alright, what's up guys? In this tutorial we're going to be looking at how to make a quick motion graphic that looks something like this using Adobe After Effects. I'm using CC 2019, but the same thing could be done with 2018, as far back as like 2014, which is when I started learning After Effects. It's really simple. I did something similar in another video. I did this series on logo bumpers in After Effects, which was more for my graphic design students, showing how to take a logo that you design in Adobe Illustrator and animate it in After Effects. Similar techniques, but we're just using After Effects bare bones for my Video 1 students. So let's go ahead and make a new project. File, new project. Now After Effects works in a few layers. So like we got your project and you have individual compositions. You can have multiple compositions inside of one project. Think of it like you can have multiple scenes in one movie. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new composition here, and I can check some of these settings. This preset HDTV 1080, perfectly fine. That gives me a 29.97 frames per second, also perfectly fine. Another thing to keep in mind is the duration. Right here I have duration measured in hours, minutes, hours, minutes, seconds, frames. So 30 frames is 1 second, etc. Right now, mine is 10 seconds. That's what I like. I can change it if I want to do. I think the default is 30. I'm going to keep it 10-second composition because that just gives me a less to work with as I'm learning After Effects. I'm going to go ahead and name my composition. In my class, all students have to name it as their last name and then what it is. This is just the motion graphic. Background color is black is fine. I hit OK. Boom, I got my composition. So let's see what else we got. Up here in After Effects, we got our basic tools. I'm going to be creating some shapes. So I find I'm right now on the selection tool. It's the arrow tool. That's like lets me click and select things, so it's good to know where that is. But I want to grab my ellipse tool. You might see the rectangle right here. These are all the shape tools. You can click and hold on the tool and you get more tools. Other thing to note, if you do not see the tools, right here where it says default, I'm in the default layout right now. If you ever like don't see certain windows or you accidentally move things around, because that happens, you click on these little 3 bars right here by default and reset to save layout, and it'll take you right back. All the windows will reset and rearrange, and you'll be right back to where you should be. So I got my ellipse tool selected. Also, I see my fill and my stroke. This is real similar to like Adobe Illustrator, where the fill is the inside color of the object and the stroke is the outline. So I've got a white stroke at 10 pixels. I've got cyan fill, totally fine. I'm going to click and drag my shape. Now if I hold shift when I'm clicking and dragging, it keeps it as a perfect circle, and boom, I did it. I created my first ever shape in After Effects. Down here now, in my layers, I have a shape layer. It's important to know that you can have multiple shapes on one layer. So if I close this is what it looks like closed. I have my contents and then my transform settings. Inside contents, I see that there is ellipse 1. If I have this layer selected when I make more shapes, it'll all be inside of this layer. So I'm going to close contents. I'm going to open up transform, and here is the stuff that I can animate. Here's the stuff that I can change and keyframe. Any parameter right here, my position, my scale, my rotation, anything that's got this little stopwatch next to it in blue numbers can be keyframed. What that means is I can change that parameter over time. For instance, I could say that I want the position to start off the screen and come on the screen. So let's grab our shape with the selection tool, move it off the screen, and then I'm going to click my keyframe button for position. And now what I'm telling After Effects is that, hey, at 0 frames, you see this little blue diamond right here, that's the keyframe. At 0 frames, 0 seconds, the position is these numbers right here. So if I move my playhead, click and drag this guy to 1 second, and then I move my position, a new keyframe was created. We see this new little blue diamond. So I'm saying, hey, at 1 second, 0 frames, the position is these numbers. They changed. So if I go back and hit spacebar or play, boom. At 0 seconds, the position is this. At 1 second, the position is this. And After Effects figures out everything in between. There we go. I'm an animator. I could do that with anything. I could do that with the scale. I could do that with rotation. Let's go ahead and do that again with the scale. Let's try to cap this off at 6 minutes, maybe. Let's see. Now that it's on the screen, let's have it grow up. Let's have it grow and take up the entire screen. Let's have it pause for a little moment. say, hey, at this frame, the scale is gonna be 100%. But then after another short period of time, the scale is gonna grow. I'm gonna click and drag this instead. I click and drag this blue number here, and now the scale is taking up the entire screen. So if I go back and see what that looks like, boom, perfect. Send it to Pixar. I want to make some money. That's it. That's our basics. One real quick thing to do. I want to make this 6 minutes. I love duplicating things and repeating things and tweaking things. I'm going to close this layer. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to Command D on my keyboard. Control D if you're on a PC. And now I've got a duplicate of that layer. The same exact thing happening. Same keyframe, segment, everything. It duplicated everything. But it's on top of each other, so I don't see anything. What I'm going to do is I am going to grab this layer, and I'm going to drag it over. I'm going to move it over so that it doesn't actually start its thing until after the other one's over. So now if I hit play, I get the same effect. I can change that guy's color. I'm over 6 minutes. All right, I'll quick and finish this up. I can change this guy's color and get this cool effect to happen. If I want things to happen faster, I push the keyframes closer together. If I want it to happen slower, I move the keyframes further apart. That is the bare basics of starting a motion graphic in Adobe After Effects.